Ms. Kavita Krishna from Bruhat Educational Trust, our valued partners in the True Itihasa project, and Mr. Manpreet Dhami. Thank you. It's an honor to speak to you today about something very important, our effort to bring back the real history of India. For a long time, our history has been told by outsiders. In his famous book, The World Economy, A Millennial Perspective, British economist Angus Madison showed that India was one of the world's richest countries until the 1600s. So for the last, since 10,000 years ago till 1600 AD, we were one of the richest countries in the world. This goes against the history written by our colonizers, the British. Their idea that India was always poor and divided. The British wrote our history in a way that justified their rule. As the African saying goes, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. Even after more than 75 years of independence, we are still teaching the history of those colonial times, the story of the hunter. We believe now it's time for the lion to tell our own story. That is the idea behind the True Itihasa project. It is a partnership between the Bharatiya Center for Excellence at the Madras Sanskrit College and the Bruhat Educational Trust. Our aim is to bring out the real history of India, one that is rich, diverse, and wise. Let me make it clear. This project is not political, as Mr. Satyan also had mentioned. We are not here to push any agenda. We simply want to correct the story of our past so that future generations can learn the truth. We want to tell a story that inspires our people, that builds confidence and connects us with our culture. For over 100 years, the Madras Sanskrit College has protected and shared Indian knowledge. We are actually 120 years old as of today. This project is a new chapter for us. We are now getting into Indian knowledge systems. By working with films and storytelling is a new avenue for us. We hope to reach many more people, not just scholars, but the entire society. We all admire the grand temples of Tanjavur and the rock carvings of Mylapore. They show the greatness of Chola and Pallava kings. But there is so much more to their story. In fact, we find very little mention of the Chola and Pallava kings in our history. That's another point. We rarely hear about their advanced sea travel, their smart local governments, or the important role women played in that time. This forgotten part of our past is what we want to highlight. We saw this same spirit in the film Story of Ithihaas, written and directed by Sri Manpreet Singh Dhami. It tells the story of a school teacher who questions the wrong version of history taught in schools. The film touched us deeply. We are proud to bring it to Chennai and to work with Sri Dhama in this important effort. This partnership brings together two strong forces, deep research and powerful storytelling. Together, we want to start a national conversation about how history has been shaped, and why it matters for our identity today. Our goal is not to fight the past, but to prepare for the future. We are on the edge of a new era of learning, where we can finally give voice to our true history. Let us look at our past with new eyes and bring back the pride and strength of India's real Itihasa. Thank you.
Our history is important. I mean, just to give an example, the fact that I'm standing like this and this mic is here and you're sitting like this also comes from history. Because it has been happening like that, that's why I am also standing like this and you guys are sitting like this. So history basically makes us learn. It makes us basically understand the pattern, and then it changes our thoughts and actions. So I never knew about this thing before, like 4-5 years back. I had no idea about history, and I did not even give any sort of importance to history, because I thought, how would it matter? It's only a present and the future would matter. But you see that, as I gave you the example before, that how history matters, and I want to communicate the same kind of understanding of the importance of history to the audience, and that is where the film Story of Ithihaas comes into picture. Now, the biggest challenge for a movie is this, that, and especially on a topic like history or education, which can actually become quite boring and quite preachy, I gave, or my team gave, 3 to 4 years, for research on this subject, and to make it interesting, and so that basically we can reach the masses and bring the importance of history in, to the minds of everyone, not just the so-called academics and not the people who are only interested in history, but also interested in life in general. And that is where my movie comes into picture. Not my movie, actually it's his story, but it's actually everyone's story out here. If you watch the movie, you will realize that, basically it's a story of a physics teacher who basically files many RTIs against the education board, and why are you teaching us, and on what records and evidences are you teaching this to the kids. And so this story covers this physics teacher. I mean, it's based on a teacher who lives in Chandigarh. His name is Neeraj Atri. And 4 years back when I met him and I started getting to know about history, and I realized how every action of my life, almost every action of my life, is based on my understanding of the history of the whatever action I'm basically doing. And this movie, as rightly said by Sir, it's not about the politics. It's about starting the discussions about history. It is not about that I'm going to tell you, oh, I know everything and you should learn history from this. No, this movie is made only for, and actually for the only reason of bringing interest of people in history, and so they can discuss and debate. However they might be able to, they might disagree, but they should be able to discuss and the importance of history in our lives. So now I have been, I'm really surprised. I never thought that, my thing was I'll make a movie, I'll release in the theaters, and that's it. And I never thought like I would have interest from so many education institutions, and I'm really thankful to Sir to basically give me this opportunity to speak over here. And though my movie is in Hindi, but the movie which is gonna play in IIT and Sanskrit College, it would be having English subtitles over there. So whoever can come, whoever want to watch and have a glimpse of the movie, please come and watch. And I will only have one request from you guys, that when you watch the movie, please try to minus the politics out of it and see that what's the movie trying to say. So that's what my whole thing ends on. Thank you. That's something which pinches him, and something happens in his life, and then he goes and basically researches about all these things, and he ends up having problems in his own life, in his own circle, with his friends, in his family, and how he tries to fight the system. So I mean, this is the whole crux of the whole movie. And though this movie is in Hindi, as I told you, like it will be available in English when it will play in IIT and the Sanskrit College. But as you saw the visuals over here, you realize that with how much heart we have basically put to make this movie. And again, the story is about a physics teacher. That's the most interesting part of it. A physics teacher went into the history subject and actually researched about it, and he he made the system actually answer to him, and that's my story about it.
History and politics are very intertwined. They always will have some kind of influence on each other. So that is something which I can never remove. Okay. What I've tried to do is this: I have just tried to show that how that history is also correct by the politicians or by the politics of it, and by the historians who are politically inclined. So yeah, that is where it comes from.
Sir, Tamil.
Yeah. Yes.
இதிகாசன்றது வந்து ஒரு நம்பிக்கை சார்ந்தது. ஆனா வரலாறுனா சான்றுகள் நிறைஞ்சது.
இல்ல. இதிகாசம் அப்படின்னா
இல்ல இது வரைக்கும்
நடந்தது.
நான் ஒரே நிமிஷம் கேள்வி கேட்கறேன், நீங்க பதில் சொல்லுங்க. இதிகாசன்றது வந்து நம்பிக்கை சார்ந்தது. ஆனா வரலாறுன்றது வந்து சான்றுகள் நிறைய எடுத்து அது மாதிரி பண்றது. நீங்க புதுசா பண்ண போற அந்த இதுக்கு என்ன சான்றுகள் கிடைக்க போகுது, இல்ல முயற்சி பண்றீங்களா, இல்ல கிடைச்சிருக்கா?
நமக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் ஒரு கரெக்ஷன் பண்ணுறேன். இதிகாசம் அப்படிங்கிற வார்த்தைக்கு இப்படி நடந்தது அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் வந்து நம்பிக்கை சார்ந்தது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறீங்க, அது தவறு. இதிகாசம் நம்ம நம்ம கதைகளில் ரெண்டு விதமாக இருக்குது. ஒன்று இதிகாசம், ஒன்று புராணம். புராணம்ங்கிறது கதைகள், அதில் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸாஜரேஷன் இருக்கலாம், அது வந்து நடக்காமையோ இருந்திருக்கலாம். ஆனால் இதிகாசம்ங்கிறது நடந்தது. ஏன்னா நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் வந்து கிளியராக டிஸ்டிங்விஷ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இது இதிகாசம். இதிகாசம்ங்கிறது ராமாயணம், மகாபாரதம், இதுதான் இதிகாசம். மற்றதெல்லாம் விஷ்ணு புராணம், கருட புராணம், சிவபுராணம் எல்லாமே புராணம், அது இதிகாசம் இல்லை. அதனால இதிகாசம்ங்கிறது ஹிஸ்ட்ரி, அதை ஃபஸ்ட்டே தெரிஞ்சுக்கங்க. நவ் இஃப் ஐ கம் டு யுவர் கொஸ்டின், நமக்கு இதிகாசத்துக்கு வேணுங்கிற இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எல்லாமே இருக்கு. அண்ட் மோர் அண்ட் மோர் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்துட்டு இருக்கு. 1925 ஆர் மேபி 21 இண்டஸ் வேலி சிவிலைசேஷனில் மொஹெஞ்சோதாரோ அப்படிங்கிற சிட்டி கண்டுபிடிக்கப்பட்டது. அப்போ தான் வெஸ்டர்னர்ஸ்க்கே தெரியும், ஏன் நமக்கே தெரியும், இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சிட்டி இருந்திருக்கு, மண்ணுக்கு அடியில் இருந்திருக்கு. அது 5000 வருஷம் 4000 வருஷம் முன்னாடி இருந்த நகரம் அப்படின்னு நமக்கு தெரிய வந்தது. அதோட என்ன பண்ணிட்டோம், நம்ம ஹிஸ்ட்ரியில் ஹரப்பா மொஹெஞ்சதாரோட நிறுத்திட்டோம். ஆனால் இப்போ வந்து நீங்கள் லேட்டஸ்ட்டாக பார்த்துன்னு வந்தீங்கன்னா சரஸ்வதினு ஒரு ரிவர் இருக்குதுன்னு அப்போ தெரியவே தெரியாது, யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. நம்ம கதைகளில் புராணங்களில் இருக்குது சரஸ்வதி ரிவர்னு. பலராமன் வந்து மகாபாரத யுத்தத்தும் போது சரஸ்வதி ரிவரில் நடந்து வந்தான் அப்படின்னு மகாபாரதத்தில் எழுதியிருக்கு. அப்படி ஒரு சரஸ்வதி இருந்ததுன்னு இப்போ கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்காங்க. அது மாத்திரம் இல்லை, இந்த சரஸ்வதி, இண்டஸ் வேலி, இண்டஸ், இந்த சிட்டி, இந்த ரிவர்ஸ் எல்லாத்தையும் சில சப்த சிந்து அப்படின்னு பேர். 7 ரிவர்ஸ் இருக்கு, அந்த நாட் 1 நாட் 2. இந்த 7 ரிவர்ஸில் 200க்கும் மேற்பட்ட சிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு, இப்போ கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்காங்க. அது தோலாவீரா, ராக்கிகர், சனாவலி, இந்த ஹரப்பா மொஹெஞ்சதாரோ மாத்திரம் இல்லை, நூற்றுக்கணக்கான ரிவர்ஸ் சிட்டிஸ் இருந்திருக்கு. இப்போ என்ன மெசபடோமியாலெல்லாம் 2 சிட்டிஸ் தான் இருந்திருக்கு. ஈஜிப்டில் ஒரு சிட்டி தான் இருக்கு, 2 சிட்டி மேக்சிமம். நீங்கள் இது அப்பர் நைலுக்கு போனீங்கன்னா இன்னொரு சிட்டி இருக்கு. ஆனால் இங்கே 200 சிட்டி இருக்கு. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சிவிலைசேஷன் எங்கேயுமே கிடையாது. இந்த சிவிலைசேஷன் வந்து 10,000 வருடங்களாக நம்ம ஊரில் இருக்கு. தோலாவீரால 7000 BCயில் கப்பல் கட்டி விட்டுன்னு இருந்தாங்க, அதுக்கு ரெக்கார்ட்ஸ் இன்னைக்கு இருக்கு. துவாரகா போனீங்கன்னா 9000 BCயில் துவாரகாவில் இது எடுத்திருக்காங்க. ஸோ இந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எல்லாம் இப்போ மெதுவாக கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக வந்துட்டே இருக்கு. ஆனால் யாருமே இது எல்லாத்தையும் சேர்த்து ஒரு நல்ல பிக்சராக பார்க்கல. நம்ம என்ன பிரிட்டிஷ்காரன் என்ன எழுதினா அதையே திருப்பி ஒரு கிளிப்பிள்ளையாட்டம் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். இந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எல்லாத்தையும் எடுத்து ஜனங்களுக்கு இதுதான்ப்பா நம்ம ஹிஸ்ட்ரி. நம்ம ஹிஸ்ட்ரிங்கிறது ரொம்ப 10,000 வருஷம் முன்னாடி இருந்தது. நம்ம கண்ட்ரி தான் உலகத்திலேயே சிறந்த நாடாக இருந்தது. அது நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியணும். நம்ம தெரிஞ்சா என்ன ஆகும், நமக்குள்ள ஒரு பெருமை இருக்கும், நான் இந்தியன் அப்படின்னு நீங்கள் நிமிர்ந்து நிமிர்ந்து நீங்கள் உலகெல்லாம் போகலாம். நீங்கள் ஐயோ நான் இந்தியன் அப்படின்னு கூனி குறுக வேண்டிய அவசியம் கிடையாது. ஏன்னா நம்ம நாடு தான் உலகத்திலேயே சிறந்த நாடு, அதில் ஒன்றும் டவுட்டே கிடையாது. ஆனால் நம்ம மக்களுக்கு அது தெரியல. நம்ம மக்கள் ஹிஸ்ட்ரியில் நீ ஒரு லூசர், நீ எப்பவும் தோப்ப அப்படின்னு தான் நம்ம ஹிஸ்ட்ரியில் இருக்கு. நம்ம ஹிஸ்ட்ரியில் 800 வருஷம் முகல்ஸ்ட தோற்று போனான், 200 வருஷம் பிரிட்டிஷ்ட தோற்று போனான். நம்ம தோல்வியை மட்டும் நம்ம ஹிஸ்ட்ரியில் காமிக்கிறாங்க. நம்ம ஏன் நம்மளோட விக்டரியை காமிக்கல? 10,000 வருஷம் நம்ம தான் மோஸ்ட் அட்வான்ஸ் கண்ட்ரி இந்த வேர்ல்டுங்கிற ஏன் சொல்லலை? இப்படி சொன்னால் என்ன வித்தியாசம்? நான் ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்கிறேன். இப்போ ஒரு இந்தியன் ஒரு டென்னிஸ் மேட்ச் ஒரு விம்பிள்டனில் போகிறான் வச்சுக்கோங்க, செமிஃபைனல் வரைக்கும் வந்துடுறான். இந்தியன்னா என்ன பண்ணுறான்? ஐயோ அது பொறுப்பா, நமக்கு பிரான்ஸ் மெடல் அது வந்தது, அவன் சந்தோஷம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தோற்று போயிடறான். ஏன்னா அவன் மனசில் யூ ஆர் அ வின்னர்ன்னு சொல்லலை, அவன் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கு, யூ ஆர் அ லூசர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்கு. அதனால தோற்று போயிடறான். Psychologically, he has lost before he even started playing. நம்ம ஹிஸ்டரியை ஒழுங்காக சொல்லி கொடுத்து யூ ஆர் அ வின்னர் அப்படிங்கிற ஹிஸ்டரியை நம்ம சொல்லி கொடுத்தா நம்ம ஆளு விம்பிள்டன் போனால் ஜெயிப்பான், இல்லை சத்தியம், நோ டவுட் அபவுட் இட். நம்ம ஹிஸ்டரியில் நம்ம ஆளுங்களை லூசர்ஸ் ஆக்கின்னு இருக்கோம். We have to make them winners. That is the importance of history.
So still our history book is a mystery. History book itself a mystery so far for kids. Because we read about Akbar, Mohenjo-daro, it goes like that. But we never read about Rajaraja Chola from Tamil Nadu, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj from Maharashtra. What do you think about this? Does it relate in the movie?
Yeah. I remember in my history books, Chhatrapati Shivaji just had one picture. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that is a mystery.
Yeah, this is Marathi chieftain. That's it. Okay. I remember having Chola as just 1 mark question, or probably that was also optional. Okay. So imagine I am a Punjabi Sikh. Okay. So I learnt about so many things about the Mughal barbarism when I was sent to Gurdwara by my father. In my school books, there was hardly any mention of Sikh gurus who had actually, given their life for a culture. So, for the mystery which you said, for you it's a mystery. For me now it was anger. That why they have been removed? Why I don't know about Chola? Why do I not know about Vijayanagar Empire? I want to know their fathers and sons and what stuff they have done. What are the things, how they have run the administration. So these are the things I want to basically convey to the people to the film, and that's why I said earlier also that people just as they just ignore history, but it's everything.
Can we expect this anger in the movie?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have seen in the trailer the physics teacher. I'm a mechanical engineer. The fact that I have nothing to do with history, per se, but 4 years of my life I gave to this. I'm like, whatever happened to me should not happen to the coming generations.
Okay. So apart from Hindi, what other language releasing? Any South languages?
No, it's right. See, it's we had a soft launch around 30th May, and it released. It's obviously in Hindi, okay. But I'm the writer, director, and also the producer of it. So I'm not really a part of the main industry as such. I'm also trying to fight my own way through. So as the demand comes, we will basically go into that language.
Sir, in this trailer, you can portray that Vasco da Gama discovered India. And one more clips that baby girl is swiping that swastik symbol. So what is the intention of making that scene?
Okay, so first thing, Vasco da Gama discovered India. I mean, so I was like, where were we before that? Where were we lost? And but on the serious note, just imagine how much it affects the psyche of a person, a kid who is going. At that age, a person is having a very formidable kind of mind, or very forming kind of. It's in that stage that whatever you tell that person, that kid, it will ingrate that into his or her mind. So this is the most ridiculous statement I've heard ever in my life. Vasco da Gama discovered India. So someone told me Vasco da Gama discovered a man who discovered India because he was basically brought to India by an Indian through Madagascar. Now coming to the swastika symbol, what I wouldn't like to talk much, but the fact that she rubs the swastika symbol, the story has an element that she has been made to hate her culture so much, okay, that she can't stand it, and she rubs it. So this is what I'm showing, that through the history books, how it has affected her actions. That is my main motive behind the movie.
When the film is getting released, sir?
Sorry, sir?
Film is getting, when it is getting released?
It already got a release.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any resistance from the where it was released, sir? Because
Yeah. We have been
resistance.
so much.
Yeah.
There's so much of resistance.
Yeah, how you overcome that? It's still running?
I'm still trying to overcome it. So what happened is this, that I was just telling 50 to 60 actors from Bollywood said no to this film. Okay. So this main person who is there in the film is a Maharashtrian star. Okay. So he said yes to the movie. So from the very starting itself, I got so much of resistance, but also and then through distribution also, when we were running Houseful, our movie was removed. So these kind of things are going on, but and again, as I said, my history is important because my history and culture taught me to fight back. My Sikh culture taught me to fight back. And that's where I want that element to fight back, that element to come into people. So my fighting back, so you see, the culture is fighting for me, but now I'm fighting for the culture.
You planted a seed now.
Yeah.
You expect more people to come?
Yes. I want better people than me. I want my next generation to grow as a very confident Bharatiya. Not a nervous child. I was just telling the journalist behind you that 12 years back when I went to Europe for the first time, I felt very inferior. That was history does to me. And now probably I'm, among the most confident person over here because once I got to know about my history, I got to know how to basically, because if I have a root, my fruits and my branches and my leaves, everything will be strong. My roots are strong.
Do you get any support from governments?
No. They haven't supported anything, and I was not even looking for it. So because as you said that politics so I have tried to be very centered in the movie and try to show both sides of it. And when you show both sides, no side support you.
So do you have any plan or doing any initiative to screen in the film festivals?
Yeah, actually it's very interesting. I keep getting called from film festivals now. This IFFI in Goa, in Jagran Film Festival. Just in the morning today I got a call, so I want to screen your movie because it's not available anywhere. It's now only playing in Australia and US and Japan. So the film festival is one way, but that's not my main mission. That's probably just one tool through which I can reach people, but that's not my main arena of making the people watch the film.
Where we went wrong, the historians or the politicians?
Yeah.
Because what made you to come back? Because why you think that's so?
So, according to my understanding, there are a lot of things at play since after independence. Majumdar was supposed to basically, R.C. Majumdar was supposed to write overview the history which should be taught to the kids over here. He resigned in disgust and anger because he was being forced by the politicians to toe a certain line. Okay, and Maulana Sahib was the education minister, So I mean, he resigned in anger and protest, and after that, Soviet influence came. So it has a multiple layer of why it happened, and every political party, every political dispensation which comes into power, they always try to have their own narrative. That is okay to a certain extent. I'm okay with that, but please do not play to that extent that you basically start telling lies. That is where my problem is.
See, one important thing that happened was that when the Congress government was in power in the early 50s and 60s, they were getting a lot of support politically from the communists. So what they did was they got together and told the communists, look, we'll tell you what, we'll give you the entire education portfolio. You take the education portfolio. So the leftists were put in charge of the education process of the country. So they had a free reign. They put whatever they felt like between the leftist influence, the socialist influence. They just ran away with it, and they distorted our history beyond recognition. So this is why we are here today. We have to undo what has been done for the last 75 years.
Sir, overall picture time sorry?
Duration.
2 hours 24 minutes.
School students க்கு இது எப்படி சார் இது பயன்படுது ஸ்கூலுக்கு பசங்களுக்கு காமிக்கிறது
How will the students benefit? He's asking. How will the students benefit?
How will the students benefit? Yeah, just like you would benefit. Everyone would benefit, not just like the movie was just shown in Sydney 3 days back, and from the kids to the oldest of the ones, they were all like, oh, we never knew this, because kids also the old people also start becoming kids because we never knew this. So it's obviously it's gonna affect everyone the same way, probably kids even more.
So what is the understanding with the IIT? Sorry, IIT something you said.
I can't.
IIT screening.
Yeah, IIT screening. Yeah.
That was done by us. The Madras Sanskrit College worked with IIT Madras and requested them to show the movie on our behalf. So
Are you
we
planning
have
to
some
release in
contacts
OTT?
in IIT.
Are you planning to release in OTT?
No, nothing as of, no, I mean, there's no deal as of now.
Okay.
It's because I made this film and I realized that if I put it on OTT, what happens is, the reach might become more. I understand that. And by the way, we also have not got that much interest from the industry also, so that is another reason. Okay. And second thing is like, the reason why if I ever have this plan of re-releasing this film, the story with the effect of theatre, the kind of influence that has on a person will always be more than an OTT. So that is where my preference comes. But yeah, I mean, the business side of the things and everything, I mean, we are still kind of thinking what to do about it.
Just for curiosity, on the online social media, what is the rating it got, sir?
It's 9.2, 9.1, something like that. Out of 10. Yeah. Because a lot of people watched it and we got amazing response on IMDb in Book My Show. In Book My Show it was 9.4, 9.5 something. So that is the kind of response we got. So that is why I'm even confident now. Okay. Earlier even I was not, to be honest, I was fighting, but I was not that. I was always having that doubt that I don't know how it will go. But it went nice in many places wherever it reached. For example, in Pune it ran for 6 weeks. So now I'm getting this confidence and maybe I re-release. For example, now I'm here. I'm going somewhere else also after this. So I have this thing that once I am able to accumulate the funds, I will re-release the movie in a proper way.
Sir, tell me the details of cast and crew.
Sorry, sir?
Cast and crew.
Cast is Subodh Bhave. He is basically a Maharashtrian star, and one is Yogendra Tikku. The first shot, where a teacher is teaching Ithihaas is not as poetry history. And then you have Ankur Vikal, and then you have Vasanti. We have these are the main forecast, and the rest of the people obviously I couldn't afford like big names, so I chose actors because I think actors, if they're able to convey my message, that is what I want.
Do you have any plan in dubbing in Tamil?
Yeah, that's what I was just attempting to ask the question. So I told him that as the demand comes from a certain language, for example, we got a good demand from Telugu. So if that happens, the demand comes from where, we'll go for Tamil also. Why not? I mean, I would love each and every language to be reached. I mean, I wish I was a big production house. I would have already done that. Just because I'm still starting, so yeah.
Okay. I would just want to add a few words. What we are doing between the Madras Sanskrit College and Bharatiya Education Trust is we want to get a lot of scholars together, collect all the information that is available, plus more information that is coming in, and put all these things together into proper perspective. And then we want to take it across to the people through videos, through articles, through books, through courses and lectures. And we want to publish the proper history and present it to the people of India. So this is our project, which is called True History. And our partners in this is Bharatiya Education Trust. And they're based in Hyderabad. So jointly we were working on this project. Ramesh Mahalingam. நான் மெட்ராஸ் சான்ஸ்கிரிட் காலேஜ்லேருந்து வரேன். அங்கே வந்து ட்ரஸ்டி அண்ட் டைரக்டராக இருக்கேன். நாங்கள் வந்து புதுசாக பாரதிய ஞான கேந்திரம், பாரதிய சென்டர் ஃபார் எக்ஸலன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷனை க்ரியேட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அது மெட்ராஸ் சான்ஸ்கிரிட் காலேஜையும் குப்புசாமி சாஸ்திரி ரிசர்ச் இன்ஸ்டிடியூட்டும் கம்பைன் பண்ணி இந்தியன் நாலேஜ் சிஸ்டம்ஸில் ஒரு பெரிய காலை எடுத்து வைக்கிறதுக்காக ஆரம்பித்த ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன். இந்த ஆர்கனைசேஷனில் ஒன் ஆஃப் த பிக் அப்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸ் நாங்கள் என்ன எடுத்துட்டுருக்கோம்னா, இந்தியன் நாலேஜ் சிஸ்டம்ஸில் ட்ரூ இத்திஹாசா, அது அப்படின்னா நம்மளோட வரலாறை உண்மையாக காண்பிக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக ட்ரூ ஹிஸ்ட்ரி அப்படின்னு ஒரு பிரிவு ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். இந்த பிரிவில் நிறைய ஸ்காலர்ஸ் அழைச்சின்னு வந்து இந்தியாவோட ஹிஸ்ட்ரியை, இந்தியாவோட சரித்திரத்தை நம்ம வந்து எப்படி உண்மையாக காட்ட முடியுமோ, இருக்கிற இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எல்லாத்தையும் வைத்துக்கொண்டு இந்தியாவோட சரித்திரத்தை ஒழுங்காக சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்டை தயார் பண்ணிட்டுருக்கோம். அதில் எங்களோட பார்ட்னர் இந்த ப்ராஜெக்டில் வந்து பிருஹத் எஜுகேஷன் ட்ரஸ்ட்னு ஹைதராபாத்லேருந்து அவங்க வந்திருக்காங்க. மிஸ்ஸஸ் கவிதா கிருஷ்ணா வந்திருக்காங்க ஹைதராபாத்லேருந்து. ஸோ அது எங்கள் ப்ராஜெக்டில் நாங்கள் என்ன சொல்ல வரோம், ஜனங்களுக்கு என்ன சொல்ல வரோம் அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு அதிசயமாக நாங்கள் சொல்ல விரும்பியதை திரு மன்பிரீத் தாமி அவர்கள் ஒரு சினிமா மூலமாக எடுத்து காமிச்சிருக்காரு. அவர் எடுத்த சினிமா என்னன்னா, நம்ம சரித்திரம், நம்ம பள்ளிக்கூடத்தில் நம்ம குழந்தைகளுக்கு கற்றுக் கொடுக்குற சரித்திரம் சரியில்லை, அதில் நிறைய தவறுகள் இருக்குது, நிறைய விஷயம் மறைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு, நிறைய விஷயம் அறிவிக்கப்படலை, வேண்டுமென்றே அறிவிக்கப்படலை, இல்லை தெரியாமல் அறிவிக்கப்படலை அப்படிங்கிறத அவர் வந்து தன்னோட பர்சனல் லைஃப்பில் கண்டுபிடிச்சு இதை பற்றி நம்ம ஜனங்களுக்கு எடுத்துன்னு போனால் இதை எப்படி எடுத்துன்னு போகிறதுங்கிறது ஒரு மூவி மூலமாக, அதாவது ஒரு சினிமா படம் மூலமாக எடுத்துன்னு போனால் ஜனங்களுக்கு அதில் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வரும், அவங்க புரிஞ்சுப்பாங்க அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக அப்படி ஒரு மூவி எடுத்திருக்காரு. இந்த படத்தை பார்த்த உடனே எங்களுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப ஒரு அதிசயமாக ஆச்சரியமாக இருந்தது. இப்படி ஒரு நல்ல மூவி ஒன்று எடுத்திருக்காரு. நம்மளும் இதையே தான் சொல்கிறோம், அவங்களும் இதையே தான் சொல்கிறாங்க. ஸோ ரெண்டு பேரும் சேர்ந்து கோஆப்ரேட் பண்ணி இந்த படத்தை ஜனங்களுக்கு எடுத்துன்னு போவோம். நம்ம சென்னையில் இருக்கிற ஜனங்க இந்த மூவியை பார்க்கணும். ஐ வாண்ட் பீப்புள் இன் சென்னை டு see this மூவி. அதனால ரெண்டு இடத்துல நாங்கள் ஸ்க்ரீன் பண்ணுறோம் இந்த மூவியை. சார் எடுத்த மூவியை நாங்கள் ஸ்க்ரீன் பண்ணுறோம். ஒன்று வந்து ஐஐடி சென்னையில் செப்டம்பர் 1 நடக்கிறது. இன்னொரு ஸ்க்ரீனிங் வந்து செப்டம்பர் 5 அன்றைக்கி ரசிகரஞ்சன் சபாவில் போத் ஆர் இன் தி ஈவினிங் 5:36 இந்த டைமில் காமிக்க போகிறோம். ஸோ எல்லாரும் இந்த மூவிக்கு சார்ஜ் பண்ணல, எல்லாமே ஃப்ரீ, யார் வேணால் வந்து பார்க்கலாம். ஆனால் ஃபஸ்ட் கம் ஃபஸ்ட் சர்வ். ஸோ இதுதான் எங்களோட மெயின் ப்ரோக்ராம்.
The movie Story of Ithihaas is basically about a physics teacher who realizes the difference between history and Itihas. Okay, how they are not the same thing. And this many surprises like this I have tried to cover in the film. The movie is about a physics teacher who actually filed many RTIs against the education board and asked questions on what records and evidences the history textbooks are being written. And he used to get no records and no evidence as an answer. And that is where, the most interesting part of this is a physics teacher goes into history. And I'm also from a science background. So the fact that physics teacher goes into history says that it's not just a history buff historians. The history doesn't belong to the historians. History belongs to us as a normal citizen also. So that is why I've made this story. And I want this movie to reach the minds of the kids especially, and to make normal general people realize that how much history is important. It is very much connected with the present and the future. Without having a hold on the history, you can never have hold on the future. As one person rightly said, and a great statement, the people who forget their history, their geographies are changed. And second statement which I love the most is this: if you want to wipe out any country's future, wipe their history. This is the anger which I come from, and I have made this film. I want to basically bring the same kind of emotions in the minds of the people, to have the same anger to actually go and fight against any injustice to history which happens in the future, if it happens.
So how long it taken for movie preparation?
So, 3.5 years I researched, because I had no idea about history myself. I was a complete illiterate, no idea. So I researched on it, and on scripting I gave around 1 year or something, because on a subject like this, the movie can easily become very boring. It can become very preachy. So for that, I needed time. So yeah, 4 years of my life I have completely given my 4 years of life to this movie.
So where do you get the references for these?
So it started with many. Okay, initially started with Neeraj Atri's book, but then I started reading other books by Romila Thapar, Talking History, and then eminent historians, because Arun Shourie was the first person who exposed this historians. If you know, he wrote this book called Eminent Historians. After this, I started reading a lot of stuff myself, and I realized, because I like reading, but I never loved reading. But for this subject, I had to make sure that I keep on getting the right kind of sources, or at least the people who have covered the sources. So that is where there are many books. Even you would know about Sulba Sutra.
Sulba Sutra. Yeah.
I had no idea about that. If you read that book, a lot of sciences and mathematics is there. So yeah, it was a very interesting journey. So yeah, different sources I have like. Yeah.
Budget of the movie?
It's around 3 CR. Yeah.
About the worldwide release and response.
Sorry, sir?
Worldwide release, about the response.
Okay, so basically we first released here, and we got a limited release, and then now the interest has come from outside India. In fact, even more. I did not expect this. So now it's playing it played in Canada, it played in Texas 2 weeks back, and it played in Sydney 3-4 times, I guess. Now it just played 4-5 days back, and Japan it played. So yeah, that's the kind. So we are going step by step, because we're not a big production house. I'm doing everything single-handedly. So step by step, I hopefully would be able to reach as large as our audience as possible.